At 8:36 p.m. on April 2026, the security perimeter at the Washington Hilton collapsed. A heavily armed man sprinted down a corridor toward the subterranean ballroom, charging directly at the doors where the president and the majority of his cabinet were seated for dinner. Secret Service Uniform Division officers intercepted the lone gunman and tackled him to the ground just feet from the entrance. As the president and first lady were rushed from the stage, investigators began the process of identifying a suspect who had nearly executed a decapitation strike against the executive branch. The attack shattered standard assumptions about the profile of a political assassin. Usually, such an act follows a trail of violent priors or known extremist ties. The man pinned to the floor of the Hilton lobby provided none of that context. Cole Thomas Allen was a mechanical engineering graduate from Caltech who had recently completed a master's degree in computer science. His professional life was spent in the quiet worlds of academia and software. He worked as a self-employed indie video game developer and a high school test prep tutor in Torrance, California. 16 months before the attack, he was named Teacher of the Month. He was a member of a local Christian fellowship, described by his students as brilliant, quirky, and helpful. The gap between a beloved tutor and a heavily armed attacker face down in a DC hotel lobby is immense. To find out what closed it, we have to look at the 16 months in between. The shift began in the winter of 2025 with the initiation of Operation Metro Surge, the largest interior immigration enforcement effort in U.S. history. The Department of Homeland Security deployed over 2,000 agents to conduct militarized raids across the Twin Cities. The operation was defined by its collateral damage. Federal agents shot and killed 2 American civilians during the sweeps, Renee Good and an intensive care nurse named Alex Preddy. These specific deaths served as the catalyst for Allen. He told his family he had to do something to fix the state of the world, marking the moment his worldview moved from observation to action. Allen's activism intensified as he joined the Wide Awakes, a network that adopted the militaristic symbols and nighttime protests of an 1860s abolitionist movement. Minutes before the Hilton breach, he emailed his family a manifesto. In it, he used his Christian faith to build a logic for extreme violence, calling himself the friendly federal assassin. As this logic flowchart shows, Allen reinterpreted the command to turn the other cheek. He argued that while that response is for personal oppression, choosing inaction when someone else is oppressed is complicity in the oppressor's crimes. In this framework, Allen viewed a violent strike against the administration as a righteous, ethical obligation. Allen applied an engineer's mindset to his travel logistics. To bypass TSA aviation security with his weapons, he moved across the country by rail, taking routes from Los Angeles to Chicago and then into Washington. He exploited the hotel's own guest access protocols by checking into the Washington Hilton days early. On the night of the attack, he used an internal stairwell from his 10th floor room to bypass the magnetometers and armed guards positioned in the public lobby. Even his choice of ammunition was a calculation. He loaded his shotgun with buckshot specifically to minimize wall penetration, a tactical decision intended to spare civilian bystanders while reaching his targets. Allen used his technical background to identify and exploit physical security vulnerabilities. He found the gaps in the federal protective apparatus and engineered a plan to walk right through them. Allen's Manifesto hit list accepted FBI Director Kash Patel. Allen viewed Patel's internal dismantling of federal institutions as aligning with his own goal. Allen approached the attack like a technical project. He calculated his travel, his weapon choice, and his target list with the same precision he once applied to his degrees, engineering a strike he saw as a logical necessity.